You are not alone. You are one of many of us who have gone through life and are passing through some hard time. I know that you are tired. Of course, a lot of people are tired, and I wish there is something that I can do to make that pain disappear. But this is an angle that you can look towards, and it can help you to make the right decisions, and it can help you to pass through this particular phase successfully. And I hope that it helps you to build capacity and tenacity while you're going through this process. One of the conversations that we avoid to have is the conversation that life can get really hard. Life can get so hard that it will be difficult to feed, it will be difficult to clothe, it will be difficult to breathe, it will be difficult to have shelter over our heads. And it's a process of life. So imagine the Israelites' joy when they were invited into Egypt by Joseph, knowing that one of their own is the governor in charge of food during famine in a strange land. Imagine the joy they were having, knowing that they are solved, they are fixed for this certain period. They were so thrilled. I'm sure that they wouldn't have missed that for anything. But while life went on, Joseph passed away, and a new king came who was not familiar with what Joseph did for the Egyptians, and then he began to maltreat the Israelites. Imagine the way life switched. I'm not here to have conversation whether it's the last time and the life is going to change or any prediction, because obviously God is the one in charge of time and season. But what I'm here to tell you is that in the midst of it, God is in control, He's in charge. And how do I know this? I know this because the Bible says that whether we go into the deep, into the pit, He's there with us. The Bible also says that we do not have a high priest who is not unfamiliar with our affliction, who is not unfamiliar with our pain, but we have a high priest that is very, very aware. So it does not matter where you are in life. No place or no moment of your life is too dark for God to see you. He sees you when no one sees you. One of the scenes in the Bible that gets me so much is the story of Peter and Jesus. When Jesus bidded him to come towards him, he was coming towards Jesus, yeah? Like I asked you, can I join you? And you said yes. So Peter was on his way to meet Jesus, but then trouble started. The ocean began to rise. Waves begin to rise, storm begin to rise. And Peter was looking at himself sink while Jesus was looking at him. I can imagine the fear that was going inside his head. But like Peter, the only thing he could say is, help me. Knowing that Jesus sees him, he was very, very aware that when I told him to help me, I know I'm going to receive help. Remember that it was at Peter's end that the ocean began to rise, not at Jesus's end. So as you walk through life, as you walk through salvation, because it's called salvation story till we die, it is still constant way of improving ourselves to be better children of God. So understanding that or having that in mind helps you to know that most of the times you just need to pray, you just need to call on God and say, help me. Lots of the miracles that Jesus performed, you find out that these people take the first step by asking Jesus' help, either by action or by speech. They ask him that I may see again. If you will help my unbelief. These are moments of people crying for God's help. Recently, I had a conversation with a friend, and I was talking to her how tired I was, because having people around me, loved ones, friends, and all of that is helpful. And as I tried to navigate through life, I discovered that sometimes you cannot really rely on people continuously. Of course, the Bible says that we should not trust in the arm of flesh, not because some of these people are bad, because I know that some people might be passing through hard time now because loved ones have, left them and are not really like involved in their life anymore. It's not because these people are bad. These people are also humans who are navigating through life, who are also trying to live life. So sometimes pardon people when people explicitly tell you that they are done or they are tired or they just need a break from constantly solving your problem. Trust me, it's not easy for you to be that one person that is always solving people's problem. So I was in that phase, and while at that phase, I began to work harder. I tried to put myself out there. I began to do a lot of work, and I was just trying harder, and that took a toll on me. It rendered me restless. I was so exhausted mentally. I was exhausted. I was just tired. And I was having a conversation with my friend Rachel, and I was explaining to her that I am so tired. Like, I feel so tired. And she asked why. So I began to explain to her things that I'm doing. And she just simply told me that you are doing so much. And I'm like, no, I'm resting, because I could not believe her telling me that I was doing so much when I feel like I'm not even doing anything. And she was telling me, you are doing so much. She was like, it's okay for your house to be messy sometimes. It's okay for you to sleep longer sometimes. It's okay for you to scroll through social media and laugh. It is okay. You are not committing a crime. Remember that Elijah was told, eat and sleep, because God knows the importance of rest. So sometimes it is okay for you to rest, because if you do not rest, you will not have the required stability and tenacity for you to move further. Since I had this conversation with my friend, the idea of rest has been around my head. And while on social media, I came across this lady who was on her videos where she was talking about how she asked ChatGPT to explain to her what she's doing wrong, that she has not gotten to the point where she expected herself to be. And ChatGPT, since they've been chatting for a long time, was telling her things that she was doing and how she can better improve herself. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice thing. Since I also use ChatGPT, why not just put it out there and ask ChatGPT how I can best improve my life? And I was shocked at what ChatGPT told me. ChatGPT said, you are multi-talented, but one of the things that you are doing is that you lack alignment. You need alignment. So it's either you find an expert or you tilt your talent towards one thing. Make it to be one thing. And I was really, really moved by that statement. I'm saying all of this story for you to understand that sometimes we take a lot of burden on ourselves and it renders us tired. And for us to work harder and try to be productive, it's okay, it's justifiable. But sometimes we need rest, because God is the God that gives us rest at all sides. Giving you rest does not mean that all of your problems sometimes are solved immediately, but understanding that you should not work hard throughout the day and at night eat the bread of sorrow is key. Because a lot of us, that is what we are going into. That is the phase we are in. Cannot be more productive if we don't rest. Resting gives you the ability for you to come back with fresh ideas, for you to know how you can best deal with life. While all of that was going on, thank you for my friend for giving me the best advice. I came across this video of this wonderful lady that I admire so much. And she was talking about 20s midlife crisis. Like, I'm in my 20s, and she was talking about how we try so much to fit in, how we try so much to achieve and acquire everything, because your 20s is a stage where you build your character. And if you cannot build your character in your 20s very well, in as much as I'm not pressuring anybody, but it is a moment where you are expected to build good character. But sometimes we are too hard on ourselves because we tend to compare ourselves with people. Like, I do this thing like regularly, where when I see something on someone and I like the thing, and immediately I feel like, oh, getting that thing, I just tell myself, no, what you have is better. Not because I want to put those people down, but because I want to consciously appreciate myself and appreciate what is going on in my life. Because a lot of people want to be like you. A lot of people want their life to be better like yours. You don't know the privilege you have: health, family, good network, a lot of things, beauty, peace of mind. You don't know that a lot of people do not have peace of mind. A lot of people cannot talk to their loved ones to tell them exactly what is going on with them. So I just realized that sometimes society pressures us into thinking that we must achieve some certain things at a certain stage of our life. And I know that you've heard this over and over again, but this is my voice joining with other people's voices whom you've heard, that is okay. These 20s are age for you to understand yourself and to understand how to live life better. And since we have discovered that this is our problem, and our problem is restlessness and tiredness, you need to be open to having conversation. If I was not open to having conversation with my friend, I'm not sure my mind would have been open, and possibly when I saw those videos, I'm not sure I would have been able to resonate with those videos. But my mind was open to having conversation with my friend. So you need to be open to having conversation with people. You know that a seal mouth is a seal destiny. So you have to be open to having conversation with friends and experts when it is needed, because some people people's crisis or life crisis need expert and professionals that can help them to navigate through all of these crises successfully. And most importantly, you must be open to communication with God. Remember that Jesus too is a high priest that is not unfamiliar with our infirmity. One thing that caught my mind is the fact that Jesus too prayed. He was open to having conversation constantly with God. Remember the scene where he knew that he had to drink of a cup, and that cup was just so much for him, and he constantly prayed. He was so under stress that his sweat became blood, which means he is aware of our infirmity. Sometimes stress is not fear that made Jesus shed blood. It was stress. You can be under stress. Elijah was under stress that he told God to kill him because he was afraid. He was tired of running all the time. Being open to communication with God is the solution that you've been waiting for. Like Jesus, he prayed the first time, came back, saw the disciple, went back to pray the second time, came back, saw the disciple, came back to pray the third time. See, you cannot be tired of praying. You have to pray like Jesus until you drink of that cup and come out triumphantly victorious. That is when it stops. Until you run a good race and it's finished. Until you run it to the finish and finish it well. That is when the battle is finished. But so long as you are on this earth, this world of unrestlessness, you need to be constantly in communication with God. And with that, this is a wrap. I hope and I pray that this video helps you to know that you are not alone. You are one of many of us who have gone through life and are passing through some hard time. But I would need you to know that weeping may last just for a while, but joy will come in the morning. And if this video resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up and hit on the notification button so that you don't miss any of our videos. And also share on the comment section how were you able to pass through those hard times and come out successfully, because I've heard stories of people and I'm like, if I would have been in their situation, I don't know how I would have handled it. So how have you been able to handle those situations, and how have you been able to come out triumphantly and successfully? Please share on the comment section, because I'm sure that a lot of people want to learn. I want to learn myself. And until next time, bye.